We are officially back with another Class of '09 video, and in this one we're going to be ranking all of the endings in the games, and we're going through every single game in order. I'm sorry if I sound monotone or I'm talking quietly. It's because I'm recording this part of the video really late at night. But don't worry, during like the morning, in other parts of the video, I'm gonna actually talk at like a normal volume. Now, I just want to get something clear out of the way before we begin. These are all my opinions, so just keep that in mind. And also, just because an ending has good thing happen doesn't make it a good ending, and if bad thing happened, it doesn't make it a bad ending, because you know the nature of these games, everything's shit. There's not really a good ending. I mean, there are a few, but you know what I mean. I'm just rating them on how much I like them and to the outcome to an extent, and how like it just makes you react and like feel by the end of it. So this isn't particularly a tier list, but I will probably just make one on tier maker just to like visualize and get a better idea of like what I'm actually saying and like what I think the endings are actually like rated. But yeah, that's it.
Needless to say, Mom was pissed. I was like, but I thought we should tell the truth, and she was all, not in court, bitch. So we got buried in legal fees, lost our home, lost everything. Mom found another husband and said I could rot under a bridge for all she cared. I opted for the cardboard box. At least I can decorate it.
Homeless route. So basically, yeah, this is the route where Nicole gets kicked out and she's homeless, and this happens basically just because this is one of the many endings involving Mr. White, and in this one, this is where he basically just scolds you for doing your makeup in his class, which is fucking dumb anyway, like who cares, bro? Anyway, Nicole's just like whatever, but for some reason Jecka gets like, she catches a feeling about this shit for some reason. And she's basically like, oh yeah, you can't talk to her like that or whatever the fuck. And basically, they end up just shitting on him, and then they get sent to the principal's office, and then they have to come up with an excuse, and Nicole says that he's basically like touching and groping them and shit, even though that's not true. I mean, he does worse, honestly. But yeah, the principal ends up calling Nicole's parents, or I guess her mom, and she basically tells her the same story, and then they take it to court, and then you run into this fucking Edgeworth ass prosecutor dude, or like wannabe Edgeworth, and basically you end up just fucking up and lying in court, and then you get in trouble for this, and then your mom kicks you out of your house. But like, I mean, it is her fault. It is Nicole's fault. I mean, I guess Mr. White deserved it for, you know, being fucking racist, but he didn't. He ends up getting scot-free, and you just get kicked out because you're a dumbass. That's all there really is to this ending. It's like, I don't know, it's just like whatever, and also nothing really particularly funny.
Well, so much for Jecka's stupid fucking glove idea. To this day, I genuinely believe sleepwalking would have worked if it wasn't for wearing those. Anyway, I got statewide expulsion. Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing either. Mom refused to move again, forced me to get a shitty job, and hits me to relieve her feelings of disappointment. The deep fryer leaving craters on my face is bad, but anyone from school seeing me is a suicidal experience. Wow, the camera really does add 10 pounds. Fuck off.
Happens in this route. In this route, Jeffrey takes a picture of Nicole in the locker room because he's a little fucking creep, and is gonna use it as, I guess, blackmail, or just reveal it to the whole school. Since he's a little fucking creep, he, for some reason, decided to use it on film. Like, as in, like, the pictures need to be developed, and the only place he can do that is the school, photo lab. Like I said, I have no clue why he decided to do it this way, but it's Jeffrey, so whatever. You and Jecka basically come up with a plan for Nicole to break in after hours to the photo lab to destroy it from being developed. Jecka basically gives you the idea. She doesn't actually help, which, I mean, understandably, it's not her, and Nicole wouldn't do the same for her. Yeah, so basically you decide to go in and destroy the photo lab, which I just want to ask something real quick. Why does she destroy the entire thing? I guess to make it look like someone else did it, or like a burglar, or it's just such a weird thing to do. And then even if Jeffrey told the teacher, like, what of it? Because we see later in a different ending that obviously the principal doesn't give a shit. But yeah, you end up destroying the entire lab, and then you get caught by like either the police or the security guard. I'm forgetting which. It doesn't really matter though. But yeah, basically she gets caught. She comes up with the literal worst fucking excuse possible, and then she ends up getting expelled statewide, and then she's forced, because her mom's not fucking moving again or anything, she's just forced to work at Burger King for the rest of her life. Again, not really that interesting or unique of an ending. And also, the only thing I really like about this ending, to be honest, is just, it's kind of funny. Like, the Burger King thing. I don't know why. Like, just, I love the image of her just defeated in front of the fucking, like, cash register, bro. It's literally the equivalent of put the fries in the bag type meme.
So, right after I uploaded that video to the N.O.I forums, it was immediately shared everywhere. Shared to the point of Minister Farrakhan seeing it and ordering a full-scale arson assault on the entire school. He kinda just posted that, and I'm not even sure if it was the real Farrakhan, you know, but I called in sick anyway. Sucks to be in the white pride party.
This is one of the many fucking white nationalist route endings, which I don't know why this is a main focal point of this game particularly. Like, there's so many endings with this fucking guy. So yeah, basically this is like the same as most of the white nationalist endings, except you just completely do not agree. Like, you still do the first photo shoot with him, but you just are not down with it at all, and you tell Jecka about it, but he basically ends up falling for this shit, and then the whole school basically overnight gets converted to everyone except Nicole. So she catches them doing this fucking like chant at the white pride party or club at the school or whatever, and she basically tricks them into recording themselves doing it. Then she posts it on fucking like, I forgot exactly where. I'm gonna just say 4chan, because why not? But basically, it gets the attention of the fucking Nation of Islam, like, terrorist group or whatever, and they end up burning the school down. I like this ending just because it's like, I don't know, this route is just funny overall, like, with just what actually happens and Nicole's like reactions to everything. And this is one of the routes, which this is what is kind of lacking in some of the other games, where Nicole is actually like 100% in the right for this. Like, obviously racism bad, I don't think I need to say that, and if I do, there's a problem. And yeah, she posted to the forums, and yeah, the entire school gets burnt down. We don't see anyone or even know who made it out alive. I'm assuming this happened during the actual like school day, so yeah, we literally don't know who survived, but I mean, they kind of deserve it because they're all fucking racist. So I like the detail that Nicole actually lived in this route because she called in sick to school, which I just find funny. Okay, this ending,
I thought about what Miss Lynn said for months into my first fully legal summer. The manipulation was still fun. What got harder was the escape plan. Now that I was 18, I couldn't just resort to calling older men pedophiles for dating me. I slowed down a bit. Maybe I should start a movement that makes my attitude more common, but it'd be a ton of work to promote. And that's when I learned the grand irony of being pretty. It destroys your dopamine levels. You don't want to do shit. Dudes just buy me drinks, give me things, everything. What incentive do I have to try? Is this why women make less? We don't feel like trying? Actually, I want a stat on the women who quit their small businesses. What % of them are hot? Or what if their business does really well because they're hot? I guess my point is, if our culture is ran by looks, the stats should take looks into consideration. I promise, I'll have a political takeaway from my high school years. I just need the numbers. Watching your dad kill himself really fucks you up.
might actually be a contender for one of the best endings in the entire series, even, and at least this game, definitely. Basically, instead of him developing the photo, you get Kylar to destroy the fucking photo lab. The reason he does this is because he's tricked into thinking that he'll be invited to a pool party, but you just do it for him to take the fall. Self-snitches by literally recording him doing the fucking destruction of the lab, and it's really funny. I love this scene. So yeah, basically in this ending, you graduate, and then when you're going on stage, you end up giving a speech, and you don't really give a speech, you just expose the entire school for all of its stupid bullshit. Yeah, so that now all that this information has gone out, you basically got Miss Lynn fired, and as you're about to drop off a fucking late fee for a textbook, you run into her packing up her office, and she basically have a conversation with her about how when she was Nicole's age, she would just do all the same shit and manipulate people, but eventually it's just gonna run out and you're not gonna be able to do that shit anymore. And I like this ending just because it actually gives like Nicole some character development, and we learned that she was right, and that basically now that she's not a teenager anymore, like it's gonna be a lot harder to get away with this shit, and she's held accountable actually for her actions this time. So that's why I just like this ending. It's just a really good ending and a great piece of writing, especially for this series when there's not really much of that, but this is one of the few times that it actually delivers. This ending is...
I would have left a note, but there's only a 2-second window between staring down the barrel of a gun and dying. I'm not even mad I'm dead. Through all the news coverage that'll cry about me for a week and him for a century, it might be best for both of us they rarely get the facts straight. They'll tell you I was a sweet, innocent girl who'd never turn an entire school against the anime kid. They'll also tell you he was a twisted mastermind who didn't want to fuck fictionally tall women. So yeah, he seems cooler than me now. But try talking to him.
It's actually like crazy shocking. Like, I mean, no shade because it's the school shooting ending, but holy fuck, I didn't think they were actually gonna like show it. Like, I mean, you don't see Jeffrey fire the gun or anything. God damn, this ending is just crazy. Basically, Nicole tricks Jeffrey into thinking that she's just as fucked up as he is, and basically she tells the whole school, and then they all make fun of him, and then basically get confronted by Jeffrey, who's all fucking edgy now, and he's wearing black and has a Punisher shirt on. And you can either just, you know, ignore him or like tell him to fuck off again, or you could actually try to like talk down and reason with him. But of course for this ending that doesn't happen, and yeah, you already know what happens next. I do like this ending just because of how like I said, it's really shocking, but also at the same time, I mean, what did she expect really? I mean, did you, like, she was already being told by him about his dad, like, being like a weird military guy, I'm pretty sure, and having like guns and shit, so I don't know what she expected to happen, but yeah.
I came to this new school with the full intention of fucking around. Life was hopeless, so sleeping with my gym teacher was just a drop in the bucket. You could say the major mistake was going home with a stranger, but honestly, most strangers are fine as long as they're not into necrophilia. The second I stepped in, he locked the door behind us, grabbing my neck and squeezing really fucking tight. The last thing I remember was the rush in his eyes while the life slipped from mine. I didn't know her that well, but tell Jecka she's cool for me. As for my family, they can fuck off and burn in hell with me. See you soon, Dad.
This ending fucking sucks, bro. Basically, to sum this ending up, Nicole is just not wanting to do gym class because it's fucking stupid, and she's skinny as shit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But for some reason, she reluctantly just goes and decides to change. Your gym teacher, being one of the tag team heavyweight champions of PDF files, fucking comes in. And like he's basically just being all weird and creepy, and then you go on a date with him. I guess she goes on a date with him just to like try to like take advantage of him or get something or whatever out of it. They go to fucking Dave and Buster's of all places because yeah, crazy. And yeah, she lures him, or he lures him home, sorry, and he strangles him. Why? I don't know, because he's a sick fuck, you tell me. But yeah, this ending just kind of sucks. There's nothing really that funny or interesting about this ending, and it just feels like another bad ending that they just needed to put in. But yeah, this ending just sucks. This ending...
Well, guess who didn't get expelled? Mom called again and threatened with a lawsuit. She forgot one crucial detail, though. I'm on the assisted income lunch plan, so they knew she couldn't afford a lawyer. Like 6 different alimony checks, and they're all going to hair bleaching. So we're moving. Again. Swear to God, I can never be satisfied. Not until it's too late.
This guy's kind of funny. It's literally the, basically Crispin in this ending. He's like really into Nicole in this route, and he sends her a fucking dick pic. And basically you just decide as Nicole to fucking send the pic to everyone, and then everyone laughs at his dick. It eventually obviously spreads around to the principal, and then you're forced to move again. You just get expelled or kicked out or whatever. And I mean, he does get what he deserves, but I mean, Crispin is one of the few actually decent human beings in the series. Like, he's really just chill for the most part, but it's just kind of funny. And I mean, he did get what he deserves in this, but I mean, for what he did, it's kind of funny, and just like, compared to what else every other male character in this game does, it's a lot worse than what he actually ends up doing. And I mean, Crispin himself just kind of makes this route because he's just funny. He's probably my favorite, like, male character in the game because he's just so stupid. Yeah, this ending is just kind of whatever, but it's alright. It's decent. I mean, technically speaking, nobody gets hurt in the end. Except maybe, you know, Crispin and his microdong, but this next route...
Long story short, I went to the shoot, and Mr. White got the bright idea of having us build a chlorine bomb that could level a food court. We didn't really know what we were doing while giving him a hand with the supplies. We just thought he had a really big pool. He detonated it at a Puerto Rican rights bingo night, killing himself in the process, leaving us as the only living traces of DNA found at the scene. It's ironic, because, like, I wasn't racist in the first place. Then I dabbled in racism just to be friendly. Then I tried really hard to convince the jury I still wasn't racist, and now I need to be racist and join some Aryan sisterhood for prison protection. Is it like this for every model?
Is where you actually, like, go along with the fucking nationalist route or whatever, and you end up just going to jail because you fucking were tricked into making a chlorine bomb, which is just absolutely insane. And I mean, this route for the most part is pretty much the same as the other one. I like this one slightly less though, I'm gonna be real, because after all the route setting up that you are against this, obviously, you just choosing is just a whatever thing. I mean, I guess what else can you really do? But yeah, God, there's so many fucking endings.
3 weeks now since I've gone to school. Once the news hit they killed Jeffrey, the literal F.B.I. stepped in and expelled all the white nationalists. The end, right? Well, see, like, 95% of the school were in the white pride party, including the teachers. No teachers, no students, no school. Jecka sent me a Polaroid of herself in prison, and she's already covered in the Aryan tattoos. So it really makes you think. Makes you think about how indifference leads to a whole bunch of stupid shit.
Hopefully, I think we're just getting on with it to the fucking last one with this. I don't think that there's any more, but yeah. Honestly, I completely forgot that this was even an ending. I'm not even gonna hold you. Basically, everyone except you goes along with the nationalism, and basically, there's some... I don't even know. Basically, you just get Jeffrey killed. That's the simplest part. Like, they end up... He's in the club, but he basically... You flirt with him to try to get him to not. And basically, everyone just turns on Jeffrey and just fucking kills him. And then you get a prison letter from Jecka or whatever. I'm honestly just kind of tired of this fucking route. Why is there so many routes in this game related to this fucking character who never appears again? That's the funniest part. Mr. White literally does not show up anymore. All right, this one is...
I went a little crazy the first week of having an endless supply of opioids. Mom found me strung out on the bedroom floor and called 911 to get my stomach pumped. Now I'm in rehab against my will. I wish they had rehab for not ugly people, because all these toothless meth heads keep hitting on me. At first I thought it'd be fun because you get away from school, but they have a fucking tutor here. It's bullshit. I'm gonna hang myself tonight. Just kidding. Not really, though.
Pretty good, I'll give it that. Yeah, so basically, in gym class, Kylar basically ends up falling in love with Nicole, and he tries to do anything to prove his love to her, and of course, she manipulates him into fucking jumping off the roof of the school. He ends up breaking his leg and fucking dying, and then you basically go into his house. He gave you the key, by the way, to his house. I didn't mention that before. But he gives you the key to his house and you steal all of his fucking Percocet. He has like a mountain of Percocet and you just steal it. And then you fucking just OD on it. It's not even like, I don't know why. This ending is just funny. Mainly because Kylar is such a goofball. And like the fact that he's like this like big fucking jock dude, but then like when you actually just talk to him, he's a fucking complete idiot. He's completely like way lamer than it actually led on. But I do like this route, but the ending is kind of weird. I mean, because she ends up basically just going to rehab, but I'm more confused as to like why this is the ending to... I mean, it makes sense. I mean, what else is it gonna be, I guess? The ending makes sense, like what happens in it, but it's just more like, why is this connected to this route? I guess they just couldn't really think of it, but that doesn't really detract from it. I still like this a lot. Also, in this ending portrait, why is she on the floor? Like, what? I don't know. She's just in little like goober mode. I'm confused. If someone can tell me why she's doing that, please do. But I just think it's funny. Even at watch, it's probably not funny at all. But I don't. Her just sitting on the floor looks funny. Now we are finally reaching the end of the original game, and we have 5 endings left. So let's just get straight to it.
The first video we did went viral in like a week. All these news stations were calling for an interview, schools wanted me to do assemblies. Oh, and a million sponsorships. For companies I don't even like, but they pay, so whatever. I was definitely right about YouTube fame, because I tried hanging out with the guy who played McLovin, and he just ignored every text.
Second part of the Kylar ending is actually you basically every boy at school is now scared of you, and you basically just become a celebrity because of it. Like a YouTube e-celeb, but still, you apparently get all types of fucking sponsorships for it, and it's kind of funny. I like a little bit of, I guess you could call it commentary on this one, of like people profiting off of like something tragic happening. But this one is in a kind of funny way, and I mean, he kind of deserves it. I mean, not deserve to die, I guess, but like he is not a good person. So yeah, but I do like this, and I think it is a better ending than what we actually got, like, from the last time this happened. Also, I like the CG at the end of it. But yeah, this is a pretty good ending and better than the last one, but this route is just good overall, so I mean, it's kind of a win-win.
So he stuck with that deal all the way to the end of graduation. I'm valedictorian for the class of '09. He was still doing all that homework even after everyone stopped caring about the suicide, which was like a month, so Jeffrey's an outlier. For my speech, I just read quotes from an AA brochure and people ate it up. Special thanks to lacrosse.
Other option of this is basically you get Jeffrey, because he's scared of you, to fucking basically do all of your work for you. And obviously, because Jeffrey's a nerd, he ends up like basically carrying you through the rest of the year. And yeah, you become the valedictorian, so yeah, that's pretty good. And I like this ending. You basically, instead of doing something stupid, she actually does something smart with this newfound power and uses the forbidden jutsu of gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, so that's pretty awesome. Going back a little bit, I probably should have mentioned this one earlier.
It's been about a year since the trial. We won $500,000 in the civil suit, and I immediately dropped out and moved to LA. Dressing nice and maintaining my new expensive drug habit is cool, but the school's tax dollars paying for it is so hot. I met another Nicole while I was out here. She's kind of famous.
But yeah, this is where you fucking, in the last route, you failed to actually convince the court of you getting sexually harassed. You actually do convince them that it happened. And basically, with the lawsuit money, you're rich and you just move to LA, and yeah, you just live your best life. And by best life, I mean probably do a bunch of drugs and die, but that's pretty cool. Also, yeah, this ending, I like it. I just like it, and the CG for it is also pretty good. And of course, I've saved the 2 most tragic endings for last, because, of course. Let's just talk.
What's it like to be happy? Like happy. Sure, I can have fun, think something's cool, have a good time. None of that outweighs wanting to die. Mom had me locked up in a mental ward until my 18th birthday, so I learned what crazy pills actually do to you. They don't make anyone happier, just more content with limbo. What sucks worse than killing yourself is fucking up killing yourself. You don't get to be a black and white headshot for eternity. You're just really awkward to hang out with. In that order. First they're read, then they're figured out, then they're persuaded. Some would call that wrongly manipulative, but what's the alternative? Basically any advice my mom's ever given me? Don't be mean, don't judge, be open. And yeah, sure, but that only works when men don't want to have sex with you. Be tolerant of guys who get off by choking you. No way that goes south. What's wrong with a pizza delivery boy with no career goals? When's the last time you asked your pizza man if he's a rapist? They're called warning signs, but ignoring them makes you a nice person. And one day, if you're a nice enough girl, you'll end up just like me. And just like my dad. If you're reading this, I'm dead.
Talk about the route itself. This is the people pleaser route, which basically you're forced into a hostage friendship with everybody at your school, and you literally have no, you're locked into choosing one of these two. So it's either whichever one you want. The first one, you actually live and you try to commit suicide by slitting your wrist. Your mom walks in before that happens, and yeah, that's the first route. And I mean, I do, okay, how do I put it? I like these routes because they show like a semi-realistic and sad situation. But if I had to pick which one's better, unfortunately, this one would probably be the least, or I should say lesser of the two. Not for any reason. This one just, I kind of forget about this one. I honestly don't remember this one, but I remember the one where she hangs herself way more because, I mean, how could you forget? And they're both really shocking, but it's a good route and a good ending, even though it's kind of crazy because what we see of Nicole later, I feel like this just wouldn't happen. But I don't know if that's just me being weird. But yeah, we have finally finished the first game's ending. So we're gonna move on to the other two. And thankfully, they're way shorter, so we can move through them way quicker. But then I have to go to Flipside, so I mean, I guess fuck me. Anyways.
You know, damn well we told after we got the money. I told Jecka. Jecka showed the photo to Miss Lynn. Miss Lynn informed the school board, and the school board deemed his accusation of me unreliable because he pays for sex. My mom got a call from the principal saying I'm back in school, so I'm not homeless anymore either. Everything just kinda worked out. Aside from all the trauma I got from selling my body, but whatever. Jecka was worried he'd get revenge on me because I snitched. You know, cardinal street rule. But honestly, street rules don't really exist when you're actually living on the street. Everyone's gonna have an opinion on what I did to survive. But let's see you homeless with no one to crash with. Those upper favors are gonna start sounding real convenient. Then again, you're probably not as pretty as me, so you'd only get paid for lower favors. Bend over, bitch.
Class of 09, the Rehab. After you get in trouble for drawing your teacher hanging himself after finding out his wife was cheating on him with the UPS man, long story. Cole's mom is sick of your fucking bullshit. She finally has had enough and just decides to actually kick you out. Yeah, you're literally homeless in this route. And what you have to do in this route, you have to find a job or a place to live or something. So yeah, you try a bunch of different things. You try to get a job at F.I.E, which, okay, thank God she gets fired or whatever, or quits, because, oh my God, we would have had Flipside early. We don't want that, bro. Basically, you run into Emily at the fucking coffee shop, and she decides to tell you about how you could whore yourself out on Myspace. Yeah, unfortunately, you do that. Thank God. If this was like Flipside, we probably would have seen this. Like, we would have seen CGs of this or something, dude, but I only hear about it, and then you run into Jecka at the diner, and you basically, like, tell her what's going on, and why you don't look that bad after being homeless for 2 weeks. But yeah, basically they let her shower and stuff after doing whatever freaky deaky shit. Yeah, okay, anyway. You try to get another client at the school library, you run into Karen, and basically after some like talk, you basically learn from her how to do a timed photo on your phone, and you end up using it to expose that your teacher is actually a fucking MySpace creep, and you end up getting his ass arrested, and good news, you end up being able to go back home. Yeah, I like this route, and I like that you're able to make a bad situation good, even though it is your fucking fault. like it always is for the most part. But yeah, you do feel genuinely bad for Nicole in this scenario. And it's good that you actually do get to come back home and everything. So something I want to mention, actually, this game doesn't have a lot of like bad endings for Nicole specifically. It's more of her fucking up other people's lives, or just her coming out on top in the end in some fashion, which is a perfect segue into the next route. Okay, this route.
We got 2 minutes into the first scene before Megan checked her phone. Honestly, I thought she wouldn't check till intermission. What an amateur. So she ran out on stage in the middle of a Romeo line, yelling out of control, and just broke down crying in front of everybody. They were taking videos, laughing. It was pretty fucking cool, actually. Then she had to go to the ER for a panic attack, and that was really fucking cool. Jecka kept asking me why I'd go through rehearsing for a whole play, even though I knew it'd end like that. Well, I had to commit to it, otherwise she was gonna see what was up. If I sent the picture as soon as I got it, she'd have time to resolve everything before the play anyway. There's no satisfaction in that. You see these movies where people kill someone for revenge, but it's like, you're gonna let them off that easy? I didn't break a single law, and this is like 10 times the payoff. She's gonna be mentally fucked for the rest of her life over this, and I just feel good about it. Now Megan's gonna end up a cat lady, cause any guy she dates will just remind her of me. Remind her what any girl's capable of, if you push her far enough.
Is actually pretty good, and I feel like genuinely underrated. I feel like people don't talk about this one as much, at least from what I've seen. Basically, in this route, you take theater class for the easy grade. Unfortunately, though, there's no actual teacher in this class. The teacher of this class is Megan, who's basically the fucking suck-up teacher's pet type character. Why is she the substitute teacher? I guess they just didn't want to draw a new sprite for an adult character, even though there is, whatever. So Megan's a fucking bitch. And she's just really annoying and nasty for no reason and tries to make people do shit that they clearly don't want to do and thinks that she has some authority at all, but she just doesn't. Also, she like fucking is the type of person to like act like this even outside of the class, as we see later in the game, and oh my god, I just hate her so much. She's so annoying. And probably one of the most like relatable characters in terms of like, I've met a fucking person like this before. I think we can all agree we have met a person like this before. Nicole obviously decides to get back at her for being like this in the most fucking elaborate, insane way possible. Basically by manipulating her boyfriend, cheating with him, then fucking completely acting like a perfect student and everything, and like going along with whatever she says, and then she fucking gets the role of a part in the play that she's hosting for the school, then fucking decides to like text all the fucking shit she made her boyfriend do, and then she just has a fucking mental breakdown in front of everyone. And I like this ending because it's so over the top for no reason, but in a funny way. This is like genuinely some like Eric Cartman shit from South Park, bruh. Like the amount of effort she actually puts into something that all she really did was just be a fucking asshole. But the amount of effort she put into it is just insane. And I mean, nothing like really crazy. She just goes to the hospital, but I'm pretty sure she's like fine after. Like it's not anything too crazy, but I just like how much crazy fucking dedication is and shows how insane Nicole is. So wait, no, I'm lying. She literally ruined her life and like, yeah, she's not gonna be fine. She'll probably get over it, but like there's still gonna be mental trauma, so yeah. Yeah, great ending that for some reason, like I said, doesn't get talked about or just brushed aside, but I like this. It's messed up, but I like it.
I always thought I had a bad memory until I spent 2 years in jail. No one has a bad memory. Some are just more distracted than others. And aside from really cool fights breaking out, there aren't a ton of distractions in jail. I haven't had a visitor in 16 months. You go by months when you're locked in here. And you're left with your thoughts as your only entertainment. See, I went in rolling my eyes, oh yeah, I'll learn. But they eventually break you down into this lame self-reflection no matter how hard you fight it. But there's no psychologists in here, no therapists in here, no nothing. So yeah, I feel like I've changed, but what if I'm getting worse? Every now and then I'm reminded what Jecka was trying to say last time she visited me. Every new inmate's story kind of paints the picture. One had to feed their kids. Another was forced in a gang. Some girl had to kill her husband. All I wanted to do was fill out an hours sheet. So, compared to everyone else, I guess it was kinda messed up in the long run. Maybe that's my lesson. 2 years ago, I never would have considered I'm wrong. I really have changed. Now to just serve my time, get back in society, maybe make some new friends, and buy a gun to murder my fucking principal with. I'd shoot her in the legs first, watch her cry for mercy before I finish her off. Change feels pretty good.
I mentioned this route in my review of the second game. This is where you freebase crack and sell it to minority community. Why do you do this, you ask? Well, you need to fill out your community service hours for your assignment that you neglected to do. So you just go there and sell crack. Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention, Jecka helps you with this too. You invite her over to fucking make crack. And yeah, you're congratulated for your quick turnaround and saving your grade and how many signatures you got. And then you still sell crack, you know, for the money and all. Hey, guess who you run into? Your fucking teacher. And then, yeah, this ends up happening, and then you get caught by the police, and then you go to jail. Jecka also visits you in jail, and basically just tries to talk to you and say how fucking stupid it was, what you did. But, yeah, Nicole's not hearing that. She just says some whatever bullshit excuse. And then, yeah, that's the ending. You're just in jail now. It's basically just Nicole reflecting on that she's literally in here for something so fucking stupid. Meaning like stupid as in, like, the actual people who are in jail with her are there for genuine things, and she was just being selfish and shit. I like this ending, and I think it's just kind of, like, again, it's so extreme that it, like, kind of wraps around to being funny, especially the part when, like, your teacher is actually a fucking crackhead and you argue back and forth about telling the school board that what Nicole is doing is selling drugs for charity, in quotes, and then him actually being a fucking crackhead. I don't know, it's kind of funny. It's not as good as the first one with Megan, but it's also pretty good. In the next route,
Ever feel guilty for just wondering if you should feel guilty? She poured her heart out again and again over how she felt about me, but it's like, isn't she better off? Like, I told her it's hot she cuts herself, and I wasn't lying, but am I really the one here? Going by Jecka's bitch morality, abusing her was a good thing. Figured it out sooner than later, right? But then you gotta ask, would you rather be alone, or have a hot, twisted bitch who demeans you in public but gives amazing head? These are the real questions that plague society. I wonder if it's like that for the other physically bisexual, mentally gay girls. Talking with straight guys must be so fucking weird for them. They're both worried about what girls are thinking. Both go into depressive fits when a girl won't text them back. They experience the same dating dynamics, and yet they will never bond over it. Because the guy will say, well, if you're sad and lonely, I'm here. And she'll go, I'm actually more gay than bi. And then he's like, all right, bitch, fuck you then. Guess you don't know how it feels. I'm not saying I've seen it, but it's totally possible. Did I have a moral with this? Fuck.
Ari comes out to you about being gay, and then you decide to actually date Ari, and basically, you know, Nicole being Nicole basically manipulates and abuses her and blah, 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 blah. Then Ari comes to realize and finally fesses up and is like, hey, yo, I'm not gonna take this shit anymore. Fuck you, goodbye. She then confronts you later, basically saying, like, no hard feelings. Also, I have a boyfriend now, and you're confused by this because she's but basically bullied her into becoming straight again. Like, she doesn't actually like dudes, but I mean, she's scared of coming out and trying to, like, find a girlfriend because of Nicole, which is pretty fucked up, not gonna lie. I like this route, but then the ending kind of falls apart because I guess Nicole can't handle not having someone to abuse and use anymore, and Ari, the only person she knows is Nicole, so they're just in this fucking, like, hostage relationship. This ending is kind of whack, I'm not even gonna front, but it's not that bad. It's just, I prefer the other ending way more, which is fucked up because the other ending is by far worse in what happens. But yeah, this ending is just weird. I don't know how else to describe it. I went into this route and the Emily route in my review, shameless plug, but yeah. So this is the next
crime lands you in hostage relationships. So after her house burned down, it went from everyone in school hating me to everyone in school threatening to kill me, and I only had one option out. I've had to date Ari for the last 2 months so far, so they wouldn't think it was my fault. And I gotta keep this up for another 6 and hope she doesn't figure the charade out before graduation. She's really, 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 really fucking annoying, too. Do you want to watch Heroes? No, I don't want to watch fucking Heroes. Heroes sucks. Jecka's the only person who's in on it, and every day, see, there's homophobia here, but them burning our house down for being gay doesn't prove anything, okay? Obama's literally the president now. If a plane crashes, does that make 99.9% of the rest of airplanes unsafe? Yeah, that's what I thought. If it's so bad, she can move to Brooklyn, or wherever annoying people live after they graduate.
ending, continuing off the Ari route. Basically, you deny and just choose to, like, accept her being gay, but you don't date her this time. Word gets out about this, and everyone in the school assumes that you are against Ari being gay because, of course, yes. Basically, your only option out of this scenario is to fill out a sheet basically apologizing to Ari. Nicole doesn't want to do this because she literally did nothing wrong in this situation. But apparently the school has a fucking straight club, which is wild to say the least. And of course it's filled with Jeffrey, Kylar, and the fucking PDF gym teacher. After getting riled up and like feeling bad for Nicole, even though she did not want their sympathy like at all, even a little bit, they get the fucking idea to burn Ari's fucking house down. You and Jecka basically have to convince Ari to like get the fuck out of her house, or else she'll be burnt to a fucking crisp. And yeah, I think I like this ending way more. It's still like kind of whatever. If it was just the house burning down and that was it, it'd be good. But then they also force in the still that now because of this, she's in a toxic relationship with Ari still, as I guess repentance or to make up for it. But I don't know. Still kind of whatever. I like the routes, but it's just still, I don't know, the ending is just weird. Okay, so basically in this,
Like, really fucking weird. Like, everyone doubles down till they're eventually Hitler weird. Honestly, I just thought the school board would get her fired or something. Did not plan on the owner of a kosher deli listening in on it and calling the ADL afterward. Thanks for the heads up, Mom. Everyone involved had to go to court. Everyone. I took the stand like, I'm a kid, what do I know? And that didn't work so well. What worked better was calling the McDonald's hash browns latkes and saying uncircumcised men are disgusting, because they are. Then I was in the clear, and they went through all of Miss Ames' past, and this bitch was fucked up. In college, her thesis paper was about how interracial relationships were misogynistic against white women. You can't make this shit up. The school itself was a problem too, because every guy watches South Park, and Jews been like the #1 insult for the last 10 years. So now Principal Lynn has a mountain of paperwork. Miss Ames is losing her teaching license, and me, I've never been more satisfied.
ending, you're sent to remedial classes after purposely acting out and getting sent there just to get away from the other teachers because it's way easier. This route, you expose your teacher, like your remedial English teacher, for being a fucking racist because she hates rap music. So basically you compare modern rap music. When Nicole decides to fucking replace the words of Mein Kampf with fucking rap and like rap music, and like that's it. She just changes all the fucking words, dude. And yeah, she ends up basically exposing the fucking teacher because they realize, wait a minute, this is just a Mein Kampf fight, replacing all the words with rap music or rappers. And also, this is done at a school charity, or not charity, but it's basically to prove that the remedial class is worth funding. And it just so happens that this event is also being catered by a kosher deli, so you can imagine how that works out. But yeah, I like the remedial class, both routes, the second one I'm about to get into, but this one's really good. I just think that it's actually kind of funny, and then it shows the teacher what for since she's fucking racist. Last route we're doing,
Honestly, super humbling when the trashiest girl you know, probably coked out of her mind, says the most thoughtful thing you've heard in years. I thought I was like deep and misunderstood and made the text and background all black on Myspace so it's like a blacked out profile. But no, I never planned a suicide pact. I never cut anywhere other than my wrists. She took her shirt off in front of me, cuts all over her body. Had one of those angel wing shoulder blade tattoos. In the feathers, it said, "Proud mistake." I can't compete with that. What I'm trying to say is, you could skateboard, smoke cloves, get your tongue pierced. There's always going to be a hotter bitch than you. And you just gotta accept that. I'm jealous of a girl who just killed herself. That's how fucked up I am. You might be wondering how I'm even telling you all this, even though we both followed through with it. Well, I cut her little pill concoction with crushed up Flintstones vitamins. So I passed out, I had a seizure, but it was just diluted enough to where I didn't die. Can't say the same for Emily, though. Okay, so I'm not sad about it, but at least I have the serotonin to not kill myself.
in this game is the Emily route. Basically, in remedial class, you meet Emily. Nicole and Emily, they hit it off mad well because they're both psychopaths. Different types of psychopaths, but psychopaths either way. I really like this route just because Emily herself is just a fun character and she's just fucking insane. So insane that the main ending of this is basically you decide to show the teacher that pretentious modern poetry is by fucking killing yourselves in front of the class, or attempting to. Nicole didn't actually kill herself. She didn't drink the concoction, or no, she did, but she didn't like mix all the fucking drugs or whatever in it all the way. And only Emily is the one that ends up dying. And yeah, this ending is crazy because I was not expecting this, but at the same time, I like this ending, but it is sad just seeing Emily go, and especially because, I mean, she is involved with the other route where you have to be a Myspace whore, but it's not really the focal point of that. This is the only route where you actually, like, get the most of her, and it's, like, kind of sucks because Ari gets 2 routes, and I mean, nothing against her, but I like Emily better. Yeah, we finished Rehab. Yeah, now we can end the video, right? We don't have to do Flipside, right? Like, we don't got, no! We finally made it to the Flipside, huh? Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna be honest, there's like barely any endings I actually like in this game. Like, I'm gonna keep it 100, keep it a stack, whatever you want to call it. I'm dreading this. Let's just look through it. There's only 5 of them, so we gotta just get through this. Quite possibly one of the worst.
Dad, are you... Wait.
Nicole? Oh no, she caught us.
Why the fuck are your toes in his mouth?
Don't act like you don't know.
Sweetheart, I can explain.
Shut your flavored seltzer ass up and feel those feet.
Oh, God.
Nicole, with my dad? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm just a broke bitch with no limits.
I'm gonna fucking...
What? I needed the money. Wasn't that your excuse?
I'm so fucking done with this.
If not the worst ending in the entire series up until this point, unless they make a new game. We got the route where Jecka becomes a fucking foot whore, and then Nicole eventually finds out, and then she gets jealous because, of course, she's such a fucking bitch. And then you walk in on Nicole foot fucking your father, and then yeah, you OD and die. Great ending. Why would they do this? I hate this ending so much. I had a breakdown over it in my fucking review of this game. I hate this. I hate this. An equally as baffling ending is the fucking one where you get a job instead of being a fucking foot whore, and then work at F.B.I, but then it turns out that you're not getting your paycheck. You and Kelly aren't getting your paycheck, and then you find out that basically you have to fucking try to go to the other F.B.I, which is actually a porn store, into the pedo counselor who works there for some reason this time. And then he gives you a fucking riddle, and then the riddle is to like some abandoned mall, and there's a porn warehouse, and then you get trapped. You go there, enter like a fucking Indiana Jones ass puzzle, go to the warehouse, then you get fucking caught by the FBI, and then they kill Kelly, and then make Jecka a fucking sex slave or whatever and sell him to the Taliban, or I don't even know. It's just so goofy, absurd, and like bad. Like, not goofy in a good way. Like, this shit sucks. It's nonsensical. Like, it feels like genuinely an AI wrote this. And like, even for this game, with all the shit we've seen so far, it's more just like, why is this so like weird? I don't know. It's just off. Anyways, this ending sucks ass. Spoilers, this ending's also kind of ass. Basically, because you can't take the pressure of being forced to get a job to help pay the bills because your dad's a fucking asshole. You basically start drinking to cope with the pain, and you keep partying and drinking more. And basically, after one of these parties, you and Nicole like are driving back home. Jecka's basically forced to drive home drunk, and then she ends up fucking killing Ari, who did nothing wrong. She wasn't even at the party. She was just working her job at Domino's, and then you fucking killed her. And I think what even makes this worse, and I didn't mention these, the text that you get after the endings is just horrible. And it makes it like 10 times worse. I'm not really gonna read it, mainly because I don't care to read it. If you want to read it for yourself, but it's actually awful. And yeah, I just feel bad for her because she literally did nothing wrong and she's fucking dead. So I'm pretty sure Jecka just gets off with probation, so cool, I guess. Fuck this ending. What happens if you actually decide to work with Nicole in the fucking foot route? Well, Jeffrey, the catalyst to this whole thing, by the way, because he's a fucking freak. You basically, like, well, Nicole takes advantage of Jeffrey. And like, because Jeffrey pays like exuberant amount of money to fucking be stepped on or whatever weird dumb shit. Basically, Jecka's doing like another fucking client, and then Nicole basically just uses Jeffrey as her little fucking pig and just makes him do whatever he wants, and basically she makes him overdose and fucking die, and then they have to call the ambulance, and then Nicole is so like evil about it. I mean, what else is more evil than making someone overdose? But I mean, still, like, her behavior is just like, oh my god, I hate her so much in this game. And I get maybe that's the point, like, you know, it's Jecka's the main character, and like this is what Nicole's really like, and we're seeing like the other games maybe through like her like warped lens, and that's why she comes out on top or doesn't seem as awful sometimes in the other games. But I don't know, man. But yeah, this ending also sucks. So we have finally reached the last ending of the game, and it's the best ending, which is fucked up because it's literally the first game's ending, but just the literal flip side of it, which no shit. And we probably should have had the flip side of more situations. I didn't want the whole, basically I just want to go on a little thing real quick. The flip side I feel like should have been half new shit, half like what Jecka's point of view of certain things were. I mean, that probably would have been less entertaining as a game, but I think that would have been better. I don't get why it's called the flip side. I mean, you're playing as Jecka, sure, but like, it's the flip side of what? What is the flip side? That would be a video title. What is the flip side? But no. But yeah, this ending makes an already tragic ending way more tragic, and I like that a lot. But to be fair, this is also a non-ending because, okay, she walks in on Nicole after committing suicide in the people pleaser route, and then that she just has to move on, I guess. Like, it kind of just ends. Like, there's not really an ending. It's like a non-ending, but it is the best ending in the flip side, which is fucked up. But yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. We've rated all of the endings. I'm sorry if I didn't go into detail with a lot of them, like more. It's because I already reviewed these games, and yeah, if you want to check those out, go ahead. I'm not forcing you. I don't really care if you do check them out. You're probably watching this because you've already played these games and you already know the endings anyway. So this isn't for people that were like not like that don't know about the game, I'm trying to say. This is more just me giving my opinions on each ending with some detail. Like, I tried to go into it a little bit just in case you forgot. I mean, shit, I forgot a lot of like the details of these endings. So yeah, let me know if I got anything wrong. I'm pretty sure I got everything right. I've like rewatched playthroughs of the game just to make sure I was at least semi-correct. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna probably, like I said, slow down with these videos because I'm not a Class of 09 channel. I just like the games and people like it when I talk about these games. But unless the anime like comes out like sometime soon, I'll definitely do a video on that, at least the first episode or however many episodes. And I have seen the leaks and it does look pretty good so far. So yeah, see ya.